All right, hello and welcome to Camel Finance. I'm your boy Camel, and I am finally back and up and running. I've had the engineer around this morning, and he sorted the internet out. So happy days. We should be able to get on with things as normal. However, I just found out also it is Labor Day today over in the US, so markets are going to be somewhat short or closing early. I wanted to start by pointing something out, something that you probably already knew, and that is the data is fake. So check this out, right? June payrolls originally reported at 209K. Then they do a revision a month later down to 185K, only to then revision the data set for a second time 2 months later down to 105. So what was originally a strong 209K has been deflated to 105K just 2 months later, which was significantly below the expectation of 230K. So infuriating or comedy, you be the judge. Something else we kind of already know on this channel is that once again, Bitcoin short-term holders have capitulated roughly 20K Bitcoin sent to exchanges at a loss. So what we are seeing is the short-term holders and the traders get chopped up and hand over their Bitcoin to the long-term holders and the institutions, of course. So this 20K Bitcoin was the fourth highest amount this year. And this will continue to add to the record divergence between the long-term holders and the short-term holder supply. So things don't really change, do they? So long as you continue to DCA, so long as you continue to accumulate a position, so long as you know where your levels are and you don't get shaken out and you don't over leverage, then Bitcoin continues to function as any other financial instrument, and that is it takes money from the impatient and hands it over to the patient. Hopping into the dollar chart, we have the Dixie right here, still indecisive. Is this the top of the last weekly cycle? Is this something like a week 6 high, and now we're going to expect this rollover and a big risk on moment as we complete the run to all-time highs in the markets? That is, of course, what I've been calling for since all the way back here. I've been repeating myself over and over again with this. Now, I have also flagged that we could run. We could run and that could be risk off, or we could also run and the market run with it. It wouldn't be the first time that's ever happened. So again, we're still in this neighborhood where if this thing is going to roll over, it needs to do it pretty sharpish. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens to the Dixie over the coming week. The US equities continue to look fine as far as I can tell. We made the first line of repair here, the second line here, and we're even back above this blue upward sloping support level. So is some level of pullback possible? Yes, but I still think we're probably going to end up forming a right translated cycle and drop into that daily cycle low somewhere around the middle of October. Now, once we get there, I'm fairly confident what we're going to see is yet another right translated cycle. So I think this thing is still very bullish. And something I've been noticing a lot is there is a massively crowded trade at the moment that thinks a black swan event is coming somewhere between September and October, somewhere mid to late September perhaps, or even early October. The thing that annoys me about this is black swan events, by very definition, are unpredictable and unforeseen. So the fact that loads of people are calling for some massive stock market crash and a wipeout, to me, seems very crowded at the moment. I think, again, it speaks to the psychology part that I was talking about when we were in this neighborhood here. I said we'll probably get this flush into a weekly cycle low and a daily cycle low. It will serve to reset the sentiment. And then as we come rallying out of here, you're going to get all those people that said the end is over, bear fractals, 2008 fractals, bull trap, our biggest bull trap I've ever seen, and now they're coming back out and telling us there's going to be a black swan event. Well, guess what? Once we get up into the all-time high level, they're going to tell us there's a double top coming, and it's the same stuff over and over and over again, isn't it? So for now, I see no reason not to remain long. Why should I not remain long and strong? We clearly have a cycle low in play with a breakout retest resumption for this line right here. We also clearly have a higher low above this cycle low, and then we've got a breakout of the downward sloping red one on the outside, which has now pushed back above this long-term support in blue. So where's the bearish argument, right? We're a few percent off all-time highs. I really think that we're probably going to make a rally up here before dropping into that cycle low. Of course, if something changes, then I am open to changing my stance. But for now, I'm going to continue to push these longs. The exact same is true of the NASDAQ, isn't it? Look, we've made the cycle low, higher low with breakout retest resumption of this downward sloping first technical repair. So that repair is made. We've also now got breakout retest looking for resumption higher of the outside one in blue. And of course, as you can see, the price is back above this long-term yellow support. We didn't even make it all the way down to the long-term red support. So the thing is bullish. That's all I can really say. Here's the Dow Jones. So is this now breakout retest resumption after a type 3 breakout, meaning that we break out of this big blue zone here, right? It was resistance for all of this time in here. This is 8 or 9 months, wasn't it? Then we break out, hard retest, meaning we come all the way back down through it before resuming to the upside. Is that what's going on? Because that's what it seems to be as far as I can tell. So all we need to do now is hold this red line and continue to move higher. Confirmation will be above here, and I think we can get long and target 38k. As I've been saying over and over and over again, that is the measured move from this low to the top of this range, and if you extend that out, you get a roughly 38k target. So I see no reason why the Dow isn't about to be bullish as well. All I want to see is a little push off this week off of this downward sloping red resistance line, and I will have seen enough to get long. So the long will look something like this. Pretty decent risk reward, especially if we move this up to the 38k target measured move. I think this is an okay trade. So this is something I'm looking to take this week. And here's the VIX. So as I was saying with the VIX, if we can get down to the bottom of this range low, then I'll take the profit and consider this a nice trade. So this is officially closed out. I saw someone was asking me to cover the Russell 2K. So I see a few things here, right? I see a few things. First of all, we've not yet cleared the final hurdle, which is this big blue box that I'm stretching across here, right? So we first of all need to get above there to say that the thing is truly entering an uptrend. We could, however, say that there was a shorter term trend break out of here. So is that what's happening? And also we had this big bottom that we've now gotten above, retested twice before moving higher, and now again retesting it. So you could have certainly taken this breakout here. For me, I would want to see it truly try to leave this bottom formation behind, and to do that, it would need to break out above the top of this blue zone. So for me personally, I would want to see a trade look something like this for the Russell 2K before I decided to get long. But I think it's also worth pointing out, this is quite clearly underperformance, isn't it? This has done absolutely nothing since 2022, right? This is April of 2022 back here. The thing is just sideways the entire time, versus pull up a NASDAQ chart and look at that, right? So to my mind, not playing the Russell 2K has been a great strategy so far. And like I said, break above this. The longer the base, the higher into space. Remember, this is a massive base. So break out above the top of this and massive things will happen for the Russell 2K. But is it time just yet? I personally am not convinced that it is. Here's Bitcoin. So Bitcoin just continues to waste everybody's time and interest at the moment, doesn't it? Absolutely nothing has changed, has it? So do I really need to repeat myself? I'll do it quickly in case you're new here. All the while this cycle low is not taken out, the thing is still bullish. All the while this yellow horizontal is still confirming that we have flipped the bottom into support from resistance. The thing is still bullish, and all the while this local low from the prior cycle low is not taken out. The thing is still bullish. So all the while those conditions are not violated, the only thing that's reasonable to expect is something like this and a breakout. I know a lot of people want to say, yeah, well, it's bearish, 10k, 12k next. Yeah, well, it's just malpractice. It's malpractice to be bearish until we lose this range breakout in yellow. It's just malpractice. You're wrong. And it's the same thing. It's the same thing when we were down at these lows. Let me grab this. When we were down here, okay, I remember playing these cycle lows. I did all of this live on the channel. I was tweeting about it at the time, and I said, you know, Bitcoin's going to do Bitcoin things out of here. And once we got above about 18.2 on Bitcoin, I said that it's just malpractice not to get long. When you have this big sideways range, a violation that then recaptures, it's malpractice not to be long at this point, and it's the exact same thing now. It's malpractice not to be bullish bias when we've left behind a giant bottom, right? We've left behind a giant bottom structure. We have flipped the range breakout in yellow into support, back tested, all the while we're above it. It's malpractice to be bearish at this point. So that's Bitcoin, and you can see that I put my money where my mouth is, because here's my position in Coinbase, right? We've added a position. Now, will this get stopped out? I don't know, maybe. But like I said, it's malpractice not to be bullish at this moment in time. So we're long Coinbase. We have also added to MicroStrategy, perhaps a little bit prematurely. But as you can see, you know, there's nothing to say that we're not going to hold this support and then break out here and everything's going to be great again. So same deal for Riot, 2 positions. We'll keep pushing them. We're still above major support, still above the horizontal range breakout. So the thing is still bullish, and the same is true of Marathon, right? The thing is still bullish. We're still above major support. We're still above the big range breakout in blue. We're still above this rising upward slope in blue one as well. So the thing is still bullish. It just needs to truly confirm this by getting out of the downward sloping red resistance line. And then I think higher numbers can come. So of course I'm open to being proven wrong if the market shows me that, but at the moment it just hasn't done so. So that's it from me. Hopefully you found some value here, and I hope you enjoy your week. In the meantime, take care from me. All the best. Cheers. Bye.